Hi, I'm Ricky Bobby with the Three Taxi Guys. It's April, getting close to Memphis in May. So we're preparing for the World Championship. I've got a Compart Duroc shoulder here that I'm going to prepare for the smoker. And I'm going to show you how the Three Taxi Guys do that. I'm going to try to do this in 3 parts. I'm going to show you today how we prep the shoulder. And then tomorrow, I'll post a video of us putting it on the cabecue. That's right, we're putting it on the cabecue. We got to test probes and make sure everything's working good on the cabecue. If you don't know what that is, go to 3taxiguys.com. You'll see that we smoke on a taxi cab, the most unique smoker in the world. But of course, we're going to be using Royal Oak charcoal, our preferred charcoal, and some Three Taxi Guys products, some Boys Night Out product, and even some Sweet Brine of mine from Mark and his group. Most things you'll see here, the placemat, some of the gloves, all of that Mark has at Sweet Swine Line Distributing. So look them up. If you need any barbecue supplies or you need a $30,000 smoker, he's got them. First thing and foremost is you got to have a sharp knife. So make sure your knives are good and sharp. That's very important. What we're basically going to do with this shoulder is we're going to take the fat cap off of it. We're going to trim it up a little bit. Make sure there's no silver skin or things we don't like. And then we're going to inject it with Sweet Swine brine or injection, pork injection. And we're just going to simply mix that with a little apple juice. Now for Memphis, we have a different injection, a little more involved. It has 20 different ingredients, but for this purpose, to test the smoker and to put out a good product that we can eat ourselves, Sweet Brine of mine and apple juice is really all we need. And we'll inject this thing, we'll get it good and juiced up, and then we'll rub it. First of all, with a little Boys Night Out, Spicy White Lightning, which I absolutely love. And then we're going to hit it with some Three Taxi Guys. And that's about it. Basically what we're going to do here is we're going to leave only on this shank, or we're going to leave a little bit of the skin. We do that to protect the meat and the muscles that are in that shank so they don't get too overdone. We'll also wrap that in a rag, which is covered with pecan oil. I like to use pecan oil. I think it does give a little added nutty flavor, but we'll wrap that so it doesn't get too overdone. Those muscles that are in that shank, we like to put in the box. There's some good muscles in there that we like, so we like to make sure that's not overcooked and ready to go. So let's get this bad boy unwrapped. Basically, it's cryovac. Again, Compart Duroc, best pork on the planet. Let me get this pointed down a little bit so you can see a little better. All right, there. You don't have to look at my ugly mug while we do that. All right, anyway, take off the cryovac. We're going to take this right out. A few juices, but we'll take care of that right here. Could wash it off. I think we'll do that. The sink's right here. You can't see it, but I'm going to wash this off a little bit just to get the blood off of it. Sorry about the camera and the camera shots. Not the best cameraman in the world, but I cook a mean hog in a good shoulder. So again, sharp knife matters. And so we're going to take this shoulder. You can see a little bit better there. And basically, right about above where the joint is here, we're going to cut a little line in there, like so. All the way around. And that's where we're going to start taking off the fat cap. And basically, we're going to start taking it right here. And we're going to try to take this fat cap off in one piece. And I'll tell you why we're taking it off in one piece. Because a lot of times when we're cooking our hog, we use this fat cap to put on top of the loins to slow down the loins a little bit. As you know, when you cook a whole hog, you want everything to be done correctly, and the way to do that is protect some of the beats that'll get done before others. And so again, we're going to try to take this off as much as we can in one piece. And as you can tell on this end, it's pretty thick. The marbling on this shoulder is incredible. That's what you get with Compart. But again, we're going to take this fat cap right off. And we're going to start right there. And just start to peel it off. Like I said, you can see the amount of fat that's on this cap. That's what you get with the superior product of Compart. Then you mix that with a good rub and a good injection and some fantastic charcoal, royal oak, of course. And you can put out a product that'll win some awards. So again, we're just taking the fat cap off. And again, we try to get it as much as we can in one piece. And we're going to be able to achieve that pretty good here. But again, we're going to keep this fat cap, and when we cook our hog, we're going to put it on top of it to keep it from getting too overdone. Now I'm getting a little bit in here with this. Got a little bit more than I would normally like, but that's okay. Again, this is a test shoulder for the pit for the most part, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We'd take a little more care and probably go a little slower if we were doing this for competition. But for the use of this video, I want to try to get it done so y'all can see what it looks like with the fat cap off. And again, we're about there. And as you can see, for the most part, this fat cap is off. And a little bit of meat on there, but that's okay. But we'll lay these on top of the hog when we cook a whole hog to slow down those loins. For now, I'll lay this over here. And so that's pretty much what you have. There's a little bit of fat I don't want here, so I'll try to shave some of that off. Again, you don't want any silver skin. A little bit there. A little bit here. Here's a money muscle here. And try to expose it a little bit. A lot of times when you're doing butts, you know, you isolate that muscle so that you can put that in a box and serve it and get some good Get some good bark on it. But again, I'm just taking a little bit of this. Don't really need to do a whole lot with this at this point. Square it up a little bit. As you can see, we left this piece of skin right here all the way around the shank. And you don't really season that too much, but we got a little here we want to take off. And again, sharp knife, very important. As you can see, this takes it off pretty easily. But again, you want this to be smooth. When the smoke hits that and roll across it, you want it to roll across it right. And not be inhibited by, anything. You want it to be smooth. But again, got a little bit here I want to take off. Kind of a silver skin. There's a gland in here that you want to remove. Got a little bit there. Now I'm cooking this for my family, so I didn't wear gloves, but normally I would. But I think for demonstration purposes, you can see better without them actually. So anyway, that's about it. Got a little bit here I don't like. So we'll work on that a little bit. Smells great, smells good and fresh. But that pretty much, a little bit here, a little bit more here. And that's about it. That's what it's going to look like when it hits the smoker. But again, it's about ready. I'll usually mess with it a little bit, but like I said, this is to kind of test the smoker, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but looks pretty good. Again, we'll take this with a oil soaked rag, and we'll wrap this when we cook it around like this. And cook it actually with that on there. But that comes a little later. Next thing we're going to do is inject it. Again, we're going to use sweet Swinemine brine and apple juice. So I'm going to mix that up, and we're going to inject this and then rub it. And then we're going to wrap it in cellophane. It'll be ready tomorrow to put on the pit with our royal oak charcoal. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll finish this process out, and we'll look forward to seeing what it looks like after that. Thank you.